From failing NET twice to getting a JRF with 99.89 percentile, I have seen it all. Now, you might ask me, Mansi, what is something that you did this time to get a JRF? Well, if I'll have to be very honest with you, I know what exactly I did. See, all of us know that English paper this time was the toughest we have ever seen. So, what is something that helped me ace through this paper and helped me get not only NET but also JR? And that thing is paper 1. Yes. See, is that when paper 2 is difficult, paper 1 is usually easy to moderate. And when it gets hard to score in paper 2, it gets very easy or relatively easier to score in paper 1. And paper 1 is something that we tend to neglect a lot. And maybe if we don't neglect it, we don't give it its due importance. So, today I will be sharing what paper 1 strategy helped me to get through this exam. So that you know, I got 37 questions correct this time in paper 1. See, to clear NET, hard work does not suffice. You need to have, rather than doing a lot of hard work in one day or over a limited period of time, what I recommend is doing a consistent work and a smart work. So today I'll be sharing the strategy that I personally used to go through this paper 1. Before we start, I would recommend you to take out your copy and pen and if possible, please take notes while this video is playing. It would be easier for you. And if not, towards the end, I will attach the screenshot of my strategy. So what exactly I'm going to do? So see, what exactly I did. Paper 1 has 10 units. Now, giving equal importance to those 10 units is not necessary. There are, some units which are very easy, some are difficult, some are very difficult, and some require daily practice. So, you have to divide time accordingly to each unit. If the unit is easier, you can give less amount of time to it. Or if the unit is harder, you can start this unit early on. So this strategy basically helped me, see which unit to focus on. Only what this strategy did for me was it helped me to divide the right amount of time that each unit requires. So what I did was basically this is my planner and this division I did for my NET studies. Okay, number 1, units which require regular practice. DI and maths, these 2 units require daily regular practice. You get solid 5 questions of DI in each exam. Like I have at this point seen 3 exams and my exam always starts with first table of DI. You see a table of DI and then 5 questions follow. Okay, so this DI sets the tone of your exam. Honestly, see, I don't want to generalize it, but usually what happens is that we arts students or especially English students are not very much comfortable solving maths or DI questions. Now when you being an English student or from any other subject, from any humanities background, if you are able to get 3 to 4 questions right out of 5 questions, then you are getting way ahead of the other students, because there are a lot of people who just skip this 5 questions in first glance, because of course this area scares them and a lot of people don't dare to touch it even. So even if you perform decently or average in such areas, you get higher up in the chart, and your chances of getting not only net but also JRF increases. So first area that requires daily practice would be DI. Okay, DI, data interpretation, all of us know, and always you get solid 5 questions. Then moving on to second, that is maths or quant. So maths, this time I think we got 3 to 4 questions. Okay, usually the questions are from areas like speed, distance, time, percentage, profit loss, etc. So if you are, and these are not very high level questions, these are like general 10th level questions that we have, all of us have solved at some point of our lives. The only thing that makes us feel that this area is very hard is because we have lost touch with it. Being humanities, being or coming from humanities background, we just tend to lose touch with it. But if you can get yourself comfortable with such units, you can easily, out of, if 3 or 4 questions are coming from quants, at least 2 to 3 questions you will be able to do very easily. Okay, so 5 plus 3, 8 questions. Okay, imagine getting 5 questions from DI. Like surely you will get 5 questions from DI, and then 3 to 4 questions from quants. Imagine how much ahead these 8 to 9 questions will take you from rest of these students. So the questions that I practiced daily, the areas that I practiced daily was maths and DI. हर रोज़ DI का एक सेट लगाना ही है. एवरी डे यू हैव टू सिट एंड solve one set of DI regularly. Okay, sometimes you might feel, or you might feel very drained out, you might not be in the mood to solve maths. It's okay, just see the general formulas, just solve very general 2 to 3 sums, just solve maths for like 30 to 45 minutes. But please daily sit with these units for at least half an hour to 45 minutes to 1 hour. 1 hour is recommended ideally, but I know it does not happen every day. Even I did not do maths or DI regularly every day for 1 hour, but I made sure to not lose touch with it. Whenever on the days when I didn't feel like doing it, at least I just skim through the formulas. Okay, iska ye formula, iska ye formula, that's it. Okay, solve, then see the solutions. Like, okay, this is the question, this is how you solve it, this is the question, this is how you solve it. So on days like, don't do this regularly. Practice, like first hand practice is important. Okay, unless you sit with the question and unless you solve it, you won't be able to know. So but on some days when you are feeling very drained out, you can do this. Okay, now moving on to the areas which are easy. See, this division is again very subjective. The areas I feel are easy for me, you might feel that they are not that easy or they are tough. Okay, and the areas that I feel are tough, you might feel, oh, that's very easy for me. So this division is subjective. So what I recommend is that use this division that I am telling you, or the division that I used, as a template to design similar division for yourself, because nobody knows your needs better than yourself. But I think that this is a very, whatever I did should apply to a lot of students as well, because that's how me and my other friends felt about it. That's why I think it should be able to serve the purpose. But again, you are very much welcome to modify it according to your needs. Okay, moving on, let's talk about the divisions that are easy. So first one would be teaching aptitude. That's the very first unit. Teaching aptitude has basic, like the theories related to teaching, types of learners, ICT in teachings via MOOC, etc. So these are the areas that I think in 2 to 3 days you will be able to cover. It's not something where you need to understand concepts and give time to each and every concept and understand it, sit with it. It's not like that. You give it one read and you will be able to understand what is it about, and after like reading it 2 to 3 times, you will be easily able to memorize it. So it is more of something that you would mug up. So better you are at mugging up, the easier it gets for you. Like, it's not something very conceptual or something that you need to understand. Okay, so I think that's something all of us can relate to. Now moving on, second area is higher education. Okay, again, that's a very easy area, I would say, because again, it's more like, you need to memorize the commissions. We have pre-independence commission, we have post-independence commission, we have NEPs. Okay, so basically you just need to make a chart once and then go through it 3 to 4 to 5 times until it sits in your head. That's it, nothing else, nothing more in this area. Then you have ICT. Now ICT, you have basic hardware. Now some people who are not very much friendly with ICT might find this area difficult, but just because in this age we are so much exposed to technology, we know what basic stuff is. I think for me that's why it was very easy. So ICT basically software, hardware, malware. Okay, so input output devices, basically more or less it's about these areas. Okay, so once or twice you can give it a read and then you will understand what is it about, and then you can keep on like memorizing it, and then that's it. Like 3 to 4 times if you go through it, you will be easily able to memorize what ICT is about. But there is one part of ICT that I felt was difficult, and I have kept that particular section of ICT in the harder section. I'll be discussing it later on. Then fourth area, which is like easiest of them all, I believe. I don't know why, but I feel that this area is easiest of all, and this is communication. Okay, so I believe this area is very easy because you just have basic 5 to 6 models of communication, types of communication, basic. Then mass media communication, hot media, cold media, basic. Like that's something that we see on daily basis. And this area could be solved with general knowledge as well. So now we are done with 2 areas which need daily practice and areas which are easy. Now third division has areas which are hard, areas which need time, areas which need conceptual understanding. Okay, so let me start. First one would be logical reasoning. Yeah, this area relates a lot of us, especially humanities students. So this area needs time. I won't lie or make it sound easy. Okay, हो जाता है ये एरिया, नहीं होता है. Like ये you will be able to solve this area, you will be able to get through this area once you have understood each and every topic clearly. Once you do this, both Indian logic and Western logic, once you are able to understand it, once you are able to grasp, okay, what is it about, once you are able to grasp the concepts, then yes, it gets easy. But before that, you need to put in some work. So this area is something that you cannot ignore, or you cannot keep to be completed or done towards the end. Okay, then you have research aptitude. Okay, on the face of it, research aptitude might seem easy, that okay, there are steps of research, okay, there are types of formats that you use like MLA, APA. No, it's not about that. In first 2 cycles I thought that okay, that's it about research aptitude, but research aptitude has so much more to it. Okay, you need to know what are the types of researches, and on the face of it everything might seem similar, but there are like nuances which you need to understand, because what they will do is they will give you an example and they will ask you which type of research is it. Okay, I used to get confused a lot between action research and applied research. So there are a lot of understanding part that needs to be cleared. Then there is types of sampling, then there is types of test, then there is types of hypothesis, okay, null hypothesis, etc. So basically there is a lot of it to research, honestly, and you need to be very clear on what each thing is about. So this a unit also requires your time, good time. Like at least 7 days, maybe 5 to 7 days at least you need to give to this area. Once the thing is that you might think, oh my god, so much work, I'll just do it towards the end. The thing is that once you understand it honestly, then there will be no one solving these areas better than you, because the thing is that you can never go wrong once you have a clear understanding of what is it about, how to solve such questions, how to do Venn diagrams, etc. Then there is no chance that you will get wrong. Okay, so that's an advantage. Then third area would be people development and environment. See, maybe science students might find it easier. I also had science till 12th, so I am kind of familiar with it, but the fact that I've lost touch with it makes it seem kind of difficult for me. And lot of people I've heard, like, they don't even touch this area. I know, but the thing is that please don't leave any areas. Even if you know that you are weak in, there would always be some units where you would be weak, but it's okay. Nobody can ace all the 10 units perfectly. There are areas where you are stronger, make them your strength. But if you know in some areas you are weaker, just try to be average or decent in those areas, okay, so that you don't lose your marks. Because what they do is, from harder areas they give you easier questions, from easier areas they make hard questions. So both of them balance out each other. You can just sometimes what happens is that you know everything about areas which are easy, but then they will give you some question that is like very random. You cannot find it in any book. So what will you do about it then? That's why it's better to try to balance all the units equally. Okay, so people develop, because there are a lot of treaties. In each treaty, watch which kind of toxins are treated. If the treaty is about carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide, what are the pollutants, type of pollutants, VOCs, etc. A lot of technical terms are there, I would say. So this area again needs time. And like I said in the previous part, like I said before, one unit of ICT I feel is hard for me, and that is conversion. Okay, so in ICT we have conversion from binary to decimal, decimal to binary, binary to octa, binary to hexa. Okay, so these kind of conversion questions used to scare me a lot. Like in my past 2 attempts, I clearly remember both of these times there were questions on conversions. Okay, and I just used to skip it because it used to look very complex to me. But honestly, it is very easy. Honestly, once you learn how to solve it, it's like very basic maths. But when you don't you don't solve like maybe 10 to 15 questions of it, you won't be able to understand how it works. But it's very easy. So that's something that you need to practice very early on. Now you might ask me, okay Mansi, we have made the divisions, now what do we do with those divisions? See, I'll tell you. So the areas, okay, yeah, one more unit that we are leaving, or I left, was reading comprehension. Okay, I'll be very honest, I did not touch this unit at all, just because my subject is English literature. Usually we English people have habit of reading lot of novels or such things. So we are pretty much confident or like comfortable with areas like reading comprehension. So for me this area was not much of a burden. But please don't leave this area. If you are comfortable with this area, then it's okay. But if you are not comfortable with reading comprehension, I would just recommend you put this reading comprehension in the first section, that is section which needs regular practice. Okay, if not regularly, maybe like twice a week you can solve reading comprehension. Okay, then now I'll tell you what to do with these areas. The areas that you have put in first column, that is regular practice those areas every day, at least for 1 hour. Maths or DI. Okay, either solve maths one day, then DI the other day, maths one day, DI other day. Okay, keep on like making alternate, keeping it alternate. That's what I did. Like one day I used to solve maths, like speed, distance, time, profit, loss, those questions. Then next I would solve DI. or maybe then next day again maths DI, or DI maths, like whatever I felt like. Okay, basically just to be clear, first make your base on percentage, please. Percentage is the base to solve most of the questions that we get in net exam. So okay, then second area, the easier areas. Okay, you have time to do those areas now. There is no urgent need to deal with those areas. First, what you need to do is first solve the areas which are harder, the areas that you have written in the third section. Those areas require your urgent attention. I'll be very honest, that's what I did. Sometimes it happens that when you don't have a clear division, or when you don't have the understanding, you go on randomly doing units. So what happens is, maybe the units which actually require your time, effort and energy, are not able to invest in it because the exam, it's just like round the corner. And the areas which are not that hard, you end up giving a lot of time to, which don't lead you anywhere. So it's always better to do smart work than hard work. Okay, so first do the areas which you have written in the harder section. Okay, these areas require in-depth thorough understanding. Now that you are starting out, or now that you are preparing for December exam, you have like good 4 to 5 months. So first start with areas which are hard. Okay, understand the concepts, and after completing with the units that are in the harder section, what you need to do is, please keep on revisiting those units. Okay, don't do that like, okay, I've done this unit, fine. The thing is that you might be forgetting it, or might be getting out of touch. So after you see that area after like maybe a month or two, then you would be like, what is that? So don't get free, just keep on revisiting to those areas maybe once a week. Okay, if you are done with, for example, logical reasoning, okay, you are done practicing logical reasoning, everything, now you're confident, please revisit this area maybe on Sundays or Saturdays every week. Okay, don't leave it. And then the areas which are easy, what do you need to do? You can maybe devote lesser amount of time to those areas depending on how you feel about those areas, and you can keep those areas not towards the end, but maybe 1 to 1.5 months before the exam you can do those areas if the other areas take time. What I did was daily practicing areas. I used to practice daily 1 hour. Okay, then second, I used to do harder units first. Okay, when suppose I am done with logical reasoning, when I was done with one harder unit, then for the next for the next part, sometimes I would pick up an easier unit, okay, to study, because I didn't want to get drained. Okay, so don't do okay, I have to study all the harder units all at once. No, this thing will just drain you and you won't be able to give your 100% in those areas. What I did was I used to switch between harder and easier unit. One harder unit is complete, fine, now I'll do an easier unit. Okay, now my mind gets relaxed, and I take get a kind of a break, and then I move on to next harder unit. So that's how what I did. Okay, work for me. But if you think anything else or making some changes to this strategy would work for you, totally go ahead with that. Okay, I just wanted to honestly share what I did, and honestly this division helped me a lot in this exam, because I exactly knew what to focus on, where to focus on, which area to give more time to, which area to keep it for the last. Okay, so that's how you can make your own division. And yeah, that's just the first part of paper 1, and I'll be bringing, like I said, how which are the areas in each unit that I focused on, and that might help you as well. I'll post videos about it as well. But for today, before starting with each unit, I just wanted to give you a breakdown of all the units and how And so please, if this video has helped you in some way, and if you would like to see more of such videos in the future, because I'll be posting, um, you can subscribe to my channel, because this is a small channel. If I post another video someday, I don't think it would be recommended to your feed. So if you subscribe it, I think it will show up on your homepage. So I'm not an expert, I'm just a student like you, and just because I have recently cleared this exam, everything is fresh in my head, like what I did, what I did not do, and what helped me. So I just, as a student, I just wanted to share those things with you, and that was the purpose of this video. I hope you liked it, and all the best for your preparations, and yeah, see you in the next video. Bye bye.